Before I begin the video, I just want to flag, as always, that I am not a qualified financial advisor and nothing I say should be considered as financial advice. Hello, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to go through my stocks and shares ISA update for November 2025. At the end of October, I had an investment balance of £10,756, and I was really pleased because I passed the £10,000 mark in September, which I also reported in the last video that I made, because in the last video I did a catch-up of a few months. So I'm just going to go through my figures for November 25. As a reminder, I don't go into the specifics of the investments that I make, just because I don't like to venture too much into things that might be misconstrued as advice. But what I will say is that I invest in a global index fund that's held within a stocks and shares ISA. So just to be transparent there. So in November, we started with £10,756. I didn't purchase any investments in November. Now, I've mentioned this on a couple of my videos of like my savings and my mortgage overpayments, is that, one of my goals was to invest, save and overpay every single month in 2025. Unfortunately, with my investments, and partly because I don't have a regular contribution that automatically comes out of my bank account each month, in September, October and November, I didn't purchase any investments. So that's definitely something in 2026 that I want to do more of, regularly invest in. And probably, what might work best for me is setting up a regular direct debit from my bank account, so I automatically make purchases each month. The income returns was, I think actually that should be 0.01, because I think some of the small amount of cash that I held within my investment account accrued a little bit of interest. The market gain or loss, so actually I had a few really positive months with my investments. I'm just going to move this down here so we can see that a bit better. I had a few really positive months, and this was the first month in a while where I saw a little bit of a loss. Again, just to flag, this is an unrealized loss because I haven't sold any investments this month. So even though the value of my investments went down, I'm not planning on selling them in the short term. So that market gain as a percentage of my balance was 1%. Didn't have to pay any fees this month. And my cumulative return, so the amount that my investments have increased by since I started investing, is £3,165. So that means that the end balance is £10,686. So if I just move this to the side, you can see the final figures so far for the year. So don't know why I said final. So the figures at the end of November. So started the year with £8,915 invested, purchased £570 of the index fund that I invest in. Income return, so this is the dividend payments from one of the funds that I've got investments in, was £60. Market gain, so the investments have increased by over £1,000 this year. This percentage is a bit of a what I will say, it's hard to get a percentage because obviously at the start of the year my investments have increased by £1,176, but I've also purchased investments this year, so it's the bulk of my increase in value probably has come from all of the investments that I made prior to 2025, because I've kind of contributed so little relatively in 2025, but it's probably complicated to understand what your percentage gain has been year on year without some sort of complicated formula, because you have to weight in how how much you've invested each month compared to what the market return's been. So that's a very lousy kind of explanation of saying that, yeah, all I've done here is divide the market gain for the year divided by my starting balance at the start of the year. So it's not a very scientific formula. So the fees, I paid £35 worth of fees in 2025. I mean, someone might watch this and say, why are you paying so much for your fees? So that seems quite expensive in terms of the fees. And the fees of the platform I use did go up this year compared to previous years, but I really like the platform, and for the sake of £35, I'm not going to switch platforms. So the cumulative returns, as I said, is £3,165, and that balance is £10,686. So some of the overall figures, so I've contributed £7,500 so far to my ISA, and their value's increased by £3,000. You can see here the monthly gains and losses in terms of percentage of my portfolio, and you can see over the long term. So I've been investing now for I think it's 6 years now, since 2019. As you'll see, I've kind of drip fed in small amounts of money while I've been getting confident with investing, and you can see that there's a huge fluctuate. Well, I'm trying to choose my words carefully. There's fluctuation each month, so you can see over the long term, I've seen lots of months where it's been positive, but also a few months where it's been kind of negative. And I think the important bit is I'm in it for the long term, so I'm just riding out these gains and losses, and then the hope is that over the long term, the value of my investments is more than what I paid for it. And you can see that over the past few years, even though I've seen all these gains and losses, actually I'm up £3,000. And you can see in terms of capital point of view, when I started investing in April 2019 up until October 25, you can see how that's risen, and the I'm kind of here, so I'm over £10,000, and it's been somewhat kind of flat from last month to this month. And actually, let's see if I can change this. I've just realised that let's select data. Edit. Is that the right month? 81. Okay. No, I was hoping to get it to say November on here, but it just missed it off for some reason. So that's my video update for November 2025. I'm feeling motivated at the minute, to really in 2026 to focus more on my investments, and actually to try and meet the goal of investing every single month without fail. As I said at the start, and I will always say on these videos, I'm not a financial advisor, and the purpose of my videos are really just to chart my own investment journey, and really to kind of, if anything, to remind myself of the fluctuations that I see with investments, and to just show the journey of how things are going, so that I can reflect back on this in the future. But if you've got any comments, or if you want to share details about how your investment journey is going, then do share them in the comments down below. I'll be posting a video this week about my financial freedom update, because I haven't posted that for a while. And actually, I was on a 2-year financial freedom plan, and that 2 years is up in December. You won't be surprised to know that I'm still not financially free, but I'll talk all about that in the update that I give later this week. And then I'll be rounding off the year with talking about my 2024 goals, and my 2025 money goals, and did I achieve them? And then I'll be setting some money goals for 2026. So yeah, just very motivated to make more videos, to get back into the swing of things. So I'll leave it there, and I'll see you on the next video.